Alright guys, welcome. We're watching the King of the Hill Showmatch with Purge. We're watching N9 versus LNX. N9 is the new Team Australia. There's a bunch of really good Australian players, including Gods being the captain. Or actually Envelope is captaining in this game, which is pretty cool stuff. We missed a couple picks already, but it should be a really good game. LNX is from New Zealand primarily. I have casted them in the past in some Australian tournaments, but it should be a really good game. So bans so far, we see a Batrider, a Broodmother, as well as a Lich and an Anti-Mage. And first pick ended up being an Ancient Apparition, which is very well deserved. Windrunner and Venge will be the revenge picks out of LNX, and finally we got two left on the Sentinel team the Radiant team, before we roam into the last pick out of LNX, and then second round banning phase. So Black Shaitan, a very, very high skilled player as well, and a bunch of just really good Australians. I think Black Shaitan is not Australian, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. I don't think. What are people writing? Dark Wish. There's a penis. I don't know what they're writing. That's awesome. Okay, cool, but yeah, that's a very high game. Team Australia has actually won the last 2 weeks. It was not expected. Nobody thought that they were going to continue dominating, but they just did a really good job. Part of it is because I think a couple of their members have been playing the Dota 2 beta for a while. But additionally, they just played very, very good. We saw them play Orange. They beat Orange. I was surprised about that, but Orange had only been playing Dota 2 beta a short period of time. And the first week, I believe they defeated MUFC, maybe? A top Malaysian team, I believe. Something like that. It was very, very good for the Australians at the time. They were just Team Australia. They still haven't picked their heroes. We're down to 17 seconds here. They're going to pick an Enigma, which is going to give them some pushing, and finally a Weaver. Saving both of those heroes for the last possible second, and I think that's really smart, because essentially they don't want to give the enemy team any extra time to figure out picks or bans as a result. So it's going to force LNX to take an extra second, or to take a little bit less time to pick up their next heroes. It's going to cut down a lot of time for N9's picking and banning, of course. They won't have as much time to think stuff out, but I think they'll still probably be absolutely fine. But Weaver will be their carry this game. They're going to have to defend him effectively. And on the bright side I was going to say there's going to be probably a Night Stalker pickup. And Night Stalker, in my opinion, in Dota 2 is semi-first round bannable. I've seen so many good high-level teams be super aggressive, and Night Stalker absolutely fits in that lineup. Most likely soloing him. And he looks awesome. Why would you not ban him, right? But most importantly, Team Australia is going to have to run into that silence all game, and that silence is going to go right on Weaver. Pretty much going to be consistently laid into him. We're going to see a Faceless Void ban second round, which is a little atypical, but he is a alternate carry, not opting for the Spectre, and actually LNX is going to ban a Spectre. And I still don't completely understand why people do this. It's basically Weaver's played as more of a semi-carry. He gets fast treads with Medallion rather than being a hard carry, so they're fearing the Spectre plus the Weaver, which can work. I have seen it before, but I've seen the banning of it a little more often, so I don't personally completely understand the strength of it. So that looks peculiar to me, but like I said, I have seen it before from very reputable teams, so I'm not gonna put too much thought into it. Finally gonna see a Nature's Prophet ban for the last one out of N9. And one more out of the Dire team. I'm expecting to see a support ban here, I think would be kind of wise, or maybe a Chen Enchantress. I know Gods is very good at both of those heroes. His micro is quite excellent. And if we do see either of those, the Scourge team would be a little bit more safe to be able to do a hard carry, but they're going to ban a Tidehunter here. Gonna see a Tidehunter ban. Tidehunter, a very good teamfight hero, pretty good roamer as well, extremely fun to play, I must say. Especially if you get a little farm, which you generally won't in a high-skilled game. But his ulti is just super good. And this kind of makes me think that the the Dire team is going to pick up an Earthshaker, since he is still in the pool. And Earthshaker just kind of gets rocked by Tidehunter, since Tidehunter can be initiate or counter-initiate. His ulti is just going to throw Earthshaker up in the air, and you won't be able to continue to chain stun. But we're actually going to see a Shadow Shaman out of N9. So probably going to see a solo Shadow Shaman. It's going to give him a lot of pushing power. I believe they've used Shadow Shaman every week, to be honest. I know they used him last week. And very effectively, they can take those early towers. But that's another big disable that they can put on Night Stalker if Night Stalker starts diving. But their team is looking pretty damn squishy. Night Stalker is probably looking at these guys and being like, okay, Enigma, food, Rasta food, AA food. So I'm a little worried for Team Australia right now, N9. But it is best of 3. Even if they get outpicked here and end up losing the game, they still have 2 more games to go. I won't necessarily be able to cast all those. But I'm going to be here for now. For sure. Come on, make your picks, man. 50 seconds left here. I thought for sure they were going to get a support here, but maybe they won't. I think Earthshaker would be smart, but they're going to pick up an Enchantress. They may go high aggressiveness, which I think would be pretty smart as well. I really like Enchantress's new face. They basically took her horns used to be skin colored, and she didn't have as much jewelry on her forehead, and they basically like turned her horns brown and then put slut makeup all over her, but then they removed the slut makeup and kept the brown horns, which I thought looked fabulous. I think that I'm really glad they did that. She basically went from like having a giant forehead to like slut makeup to non-slut makeup, which looks stupid because she's like she's some like forest creature, and then they put horror makeup on her and everybody was like, what is this? Except for like the really horny dudes, they're like, hell yeah, which was cool. But we're gonna actually see a Slardar pick out of N9, which is interesting because Slardar could be a counter to Weaver, so they're just going to go ahead and pick up the Slardar, and that's going to be another semi-carry basically. And Slardar's actually pretty useful in Dota 2. I think they definitely need to work on his character model a little bit. He looks a little sloppy here, in my opinion. Doesn't quite look very good. But as a hero himself, he's actually a very good hero. The minus armor just makes a huge difference against heroes like Night Stalker. Just beast him down basically. He's not going to have to worry about Night Stalker. He can basically just drop stuns down as Night Stalker dives. And they could realistically just push with this lineup. They have an Enigma and the Shadow Shaman. Those are both semi-pushing heroes. Shadow Shaman using his ulti and the demonic conversion for the Enigma. Both of those two guys right there. Plus the Weaver with the bugs. It's pretty good pushing power. Scourge team is just looking at Enchantress, and their last pick's going to be Mirana, so they're not going for a really hard carry. Just 2 semi-carries on the Night Stalker and the Mirana, and a little bit of extra, and the Windrunner actually, and a little bit extra damage on the Enchant, so. But they have a little bit less supporting power. This could be said about the Sentinel team as well. Pretty much just the AA is going to be going hard support here. And as the heroes pick up, choose which heroes they're going to be playing. We're actually going to hop into the game, and the game gets paused immediately. Time to drink more Dr. Pepper. This guy has to pee, apparently. Let's see what my hotkeys are set to. F1. Nothing. F2, nothing. F3, nothing. F4. There we go. Golden EXP. Let's see what F5 does. There's items. That's Golden EXP. Items. Difference in gold earned. This doesn't look right to me. I feel like this hasn't occurred yet. Is this the last game I casted? I watched? That game wasn't 63 minutes. Maybe the last game I casted. It's just a bug, by the way, if you guys are wondering. Just pressed like so many F buttons. Shouldn't press F9 though. I know what that one does. I'll have to report this bug. So, items, Golden EXP. This is pretty cool. You can see gold earned, gold per minute, XP per minute, current gold, all pretty important numbers. And that was me sneezing, which is awesome. What else we got? So that was F4. It's golden EXP. Items. I don't know what that did. Black Shaitan is not quite ready. F4. Whoa. I think F7 just closes them. Looks like it. Come on, let's cast a Dota game. Alright, well we can go over the players' list. Nice, I can actually move my screen. This is really cool. An upgrade from Dota 1. Alright, for the Sentinel team. Apparently this is the only just with the minimap. God's gonna be playing the Enigma. Envelop gonna be playing the Weaver. Apparently I turned off the... Ugh, maybe it was one of the buttons I pressed. Alright, apparently... Oh, that's... Okay, that's Fog Vision. That's cool. Alright, so F1 is everybody. F2 is... Radiant. F3 is Dire. I'm learning everything, just like you guys. Oh shit, this guy needs to restart. His computer, or... Hopefully just Dota 2. Alright, Team Australia, X Musica is going to be playing the Shadow Shaman. Gods is on the Enigma. We have Envelop playing the Weaver. Black Shaitan playing the Slaughter, and Snoopy playing the... Godot playing the Enchantress. The Restarter Fumafu playing the Night Stalker. Darkwish playing the Priest of the Moon. LNX CUX playing the Windrunner. And finally Vodkey gonna be playing the Vengeful Spirit. He's like, alright, fine. I'll go restart. Maybe he is just... changed his resolution. What is going on? Let's watch some frickin' Dota. Australians versus the New Zealanders. King Curti. That Dr. Pepper. Shout out to his dog, Zanjutsu. That's not weird enough. Wish this game would start so I could maybe cast 2 games instead of 1. Alright, if you guys have any questions in chat, I guess this is the time to do it. Who will host the second and third match? If I don't, nobody will. Unless Gods does a first person stream. There's a lot of chat. How come I can't see this game inside Dota 2? Because it's hidden. That way you guys can't, that way you have to watch this stream. What do you mean, what's my name? In real life? IRL? Kindly play some music. You want copyright infringement all up in her? You crazy? I don't know. I'm of the mentality that you may get more viewers if you have no music. Well, I'm not putting this on YouTube, but we might put it on our Ghost 2 Gamers YouTube, which means we might eventually profit from the money. So it's better to just not put music on the streams, to be honest, because we'll probably end up uploading this one to YouTube. Technically it's copyright infringement to stream with music on, but currently nobody is doing anything about that. YouTube is getting cracked down on right now. Put on bad music, so it would decrease profits. Who wins the laning phase? Well, I guess I can analyze some picks here. This guy's going to either do aggressive jungling. He's got observer wards. He might do aggressive jungling, I believe. Windrunner may go top. We may have a Venge. Whoa. That was crazy. That was like a mega ping that I just heard. It was like if you took 5 pings and just did them. All the StarCraft 2 high-level streamers play music. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not illegal, and they don't put those videos online. I'll tell you that much, or at least they don't plan to make money off them. It's impossible to do so, and they're gonna spot each other here. It's like Sentinel team is actually looking for it, but then Slardar's gonna realize how many heroes there are. He does get stunned. Huge shackle shot. There's the next stun on Black Shatana. I'm pretty sure Slardar's gonna go down there, and he does end up feeding first blood there. He should have backed up immediately upon seeing enemy heroes. Will the Night Stalker drop? He will drop, but will he even? He will go down, but a 2-kill swing already. There's another chain stun on the Shadow Shaman. We're going to see 3 heroes go down for the Sentinel team. Priest of the Moon gets traded, though. So a 2-for-3 trade. Night Stalker dropped, Priest of the Moon dropped. And did Weaver get 2 kills here? Weaver ended up getting 2 kills, which is arguably a pretty good trade for the Sentinel team. They did lose an extra hero, but they didn't really lose gold as a result. And Weaver actually got 2 kills. And now he's going to try to kill this Enchantress. No, he's actually not. I kind of wish he would have pursued that. That would have been cool. He could have done, arguably, another half HP worth of damage. So pretty cool stuff. He's actually swinging to the top lane. He's going to be soloing the top lane. We do have a pause. The person that's named Gods is GGnet KOTH. Yes, he's a caster and a very good player. I would say the best player that also casts Dota. But me and Charms are not very bad players either, to be honest. If everyone does it, it cannot be illegal. No, that's not how it works. It just isn't. Just because people do it doesn't mean that it's not illegal. It just means that the music companies aren't cracking down on it right now. In a way, you know, it's promoting their music more than it's getting them revenue, but at some point, people are probably going to have copyright infringement. At some point. It's probably going to be a couple years in the future at least, but it's hard to say. Okay, if he's being sarcastic, then he'd just own me. You're right. If everyone did crack cocaine, it would probably be legal. Looks like we have one ping here. Bollywood music. I don't wanna do that. Charms is cool. I wouldn't necessarily say he's #1 though. God's definitely has the most Dota knowledge. I think is easy to say. Competitive Dota knowledge for sure. He's played on competitive teams a lot longer. I barely at all dabbled in such things. I'll just play some African music, some like country where they probably don't have lawyers, and then I can just absolutely avoid the copyright infringement exactly. Make my own music? I do have a drum. I could just absolutely just slam on my drum. The pings are all going to happen at the same time. Look at this. Getting more pings. They're probably just like talking about lanes and stuff. If you guys are having stream problems, just lower the quality. I'm streaming at a very high quality, so if you're set to max quality, you may have to reduce it, just as a result of where you live. And what level is the Weaver, by the way? He's actually level 2.5. Looks like Windrunner's getting an Invis rune on the top lane. Nothing like level 1 Shackle. These creeps are just gonna rumble and nothing will be profited. Alright, and all the pings go off at the same time.
Invisibility.
Alright, all the wards are down. Alright, so the Enchant and the Venge are going to do an aggressive jungle here. This is something for Venge to do, away from him to get EXP. Priest Moon gets solo EXP as a result, and as soon as they are ready to gank, which they will be so now, they're going to go roam on a different lane and try to pick up a kill. Most importantly, though, the Observer Ward is down. It's going to prevent Gods from jungling a little bit, and he's actually going to run into this here. This is really bad for him. There's the stun. We're going to see the Enchant as well, unless he's still on cooldown. He does still have cooldown, but the Tornado's actually going after him, and he will survive this. I'm actually quite surprised about that. I thought for sure he was going to end up getting picked off. He's going to look for more jungling opportunities, popping that Tango. And Rasta going to be very careful for now, backing into the narrow alleyway up on the top. So once those neutrals are picked up, Gods is pretty much in a shitty spot right now. They did pick up that Enchant as an aggressive jungler, and it's working very, very well. Enigma's not going to get a lot of EXP. He's not going to get a lot of farm here. And he's going to have to worry about these two support heroes just staying in their jungle. We may even see him. He does get caught again. He's running away. I think he's going to be able to escape. Unless we see a stun from Vengeful Spirit. I think he's going to be fine, though. He may just need to swing to the other team's jungle and just go jungle up here where he won't be impeded by the Venge and that Enchantress. But on the downside, then, it's going to be an AA and a Slardar left to their own devices, and they're going to be constantly ganked by Enchantress and Vengeful Spirit. So that is the options that they would be looking into. They still have a good eye on the Enchantress Vengeful Spirit. And on the mid lane, we still have the Shadow Shaman versus the Night Stalker. So he's going to have to be a little careful in the mid game, especially because of ganks. But they're keeping a very good eye on the support heroes, and now he knows he needs to back off. And on the top lane, we have that Weaver versus the Windrunner, and Weaver still has a pretty big level, actually just barely having a level advantage here, despite getting the 2 kills. Windrunner must have been in some of those early fights. Here comes the gank. Rasta knows that there's the slow, there's the net. He's absolutely going to die here. Takes a couple nukes. There's a lot of pinging that went on right before that gank ended up coming. So I don't know if they were just angry about it or they knew it was coming. There's Gods finally going to the jungle on the top lane. He's going to pull this off. I don't think he's going to stack it. I think he's just pulling it back a little bit so that the creeps do a little bit less damage. And we were just about to hit level 5. How's his gold doing? 940. He does have that Basilius finish. Spot a rune on the bot rune spot. And Venge and Enchant continuing. Successful kill gets them up in a level. So they are both level 3 now. Ancient Apparition picks up the invisibility. Both teams spot that. And Musica goes back to his lane, but the Night Stalker has a pretty big advantage on him now. It's still quite a ways until nighttime. But as soon as it does become night, he's going to have a big level advantage, which can make all the difference. And Slardar has to play like an absolute sissy here. Ancient Apparition is going to scout out the supporters, but he's not getting any EXP right now. They could have been pulling perhaps, but it's still pretty dangerous with the jungling dude, and they're going to clean up all these creeps. It's just not looking very good for the Australians. N9, I believe their team name is. Ring of Health on the Weaver now. It keeps the HP up. It's going to do a little bit of Tsukuchi harass. Maxing in Tsukuchi is going to give him a very low cooldown. He's going to be able to spam that more regularly against the Windrunner to keep himself alive. And the junglers, once again, actually going to pop a smoke. I don't know if that was spotted or not. It showed them running this way, but I think they're expecting them to be there. I mean, realistically, if they ran over here, the only place they can go is back down to the tower. So I think they're predicting that. And are they backing up? Slaughter picking up a CS, but there's going to have a stun on the Ancient Apparition. Follow-up stun from the Centaur, and that's a guaranteed kill on the A. The stun from Black Shaitan is just a little bit too late, not going to result in the kill. And the arrow barely leads him up. And the Slaughter's going to be absolutely fine. He will salve up. He doesn't have enough mana for another stun, though, and he's going to be quite a ways away from that. Another 30 seconds or so. That's going to give Priest of the Moon a little bit more free farm here. Just these lanes not very favorable for the Sentinel team. They are not looking very strong to me right now. They probably should have banned some of those support heroes, or some of those jungling heroes, at the least either a Chen or an Enchantress. But that's not what they went for. They banned some different heroes, and now they're kind of paying for it. Once again, looking for another kill. Another good ward up. And another smoke. I don't know if they got spotted or not. Let's use these fancy... Looks like they did not actually get spotted. There was no vision there. So the gank will come on the Ancient Apparition. We'll see if he's going to be able to survive. We don't actually have enchant mana on the Enchantress. And the Centaur gets spotted. That's going to keep him alive here. It just became nighttime. Night Stalker is level 6. That might have been him artificially making night. Not quite sure. Night Stalker illusion. That's actually Night Stalker pinging. Still very low mana on the Enchantress, but she does pick up the energy booster. And in just a second here, Weaver, will he end up dying? We're just going to need to see another Void, but there's the Fear cooldown. He time walks out, gets half of his HP, it's going to keep him alive. And now Enigma in a kind of a weird spot. He's being chased by the illusion from Night Stalker, but he will pursue on this. His bottle charges are empty, but he's going to get at least 2 Voids off on Gods here. There's the first slow. And there's the stun going off. It's going to stun him twice. And will he be able to survive? Rasta actually just got picked off in the mid lane as well. Not going to be able to save him. And God ends up going down. Rasta drops to the Venge Enchant. And Slaughter now level 5. All he has is boots and components of a Vanguard. Unfortunately, nobody is really doing super well for the Sentinel team except for maybe Weaver here.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Night Stalker with the Invis Rune. Going to be able to gank more effectively. We'll see if he goes towards a bot lane. He may pick up a couple CS here. And then pop that invisibility. Rasta trying to defend this here. It's going to be very, very dangerous. All that we need is one slow from Night Stalker. A little bit of extra disables, and that could be it. Weaver continuing on the top, up to 1,200 gold. He's not doing too bad. That extra 500 gold boost really did make a big difference, but it's going to be Night Stalker ganking now. He does have his urn finished. 2 more bottle charges, and we will see an initiation in just a second here, as well as a power shot from the Windrunner. This could spell doom for the Weaver. He only has 663 HP. Now Weaver being aggressive. Will he be shown? And there's the slow. Are we going to see the fear? There's the fear. There's the power shot, and it's enough. Picks him off.
Comes for you.
Really unfortunate for the Weaver. That Invis absolutely playing a crucial role in this early game. Getting a kill on Weaver is going to make all the difference. He has now died once. 31 CS on him. There's 37 on the Night Stalker, 21 on Enchant, 21 on Marana, and 33 on Windrunner. And compared to the Sentinel team, they're definitely in the lead. It's not obscene. It's actually quite even. Looks like we actually might have a 10 CS lead for the Radiant team. But part of those are basic neutrals. Just stun on Gods. Trying to pursue it. Will they kill the Vengeful Spirit? Nice black hole. It's going to catch the Night Stalker in here. Will they be able to nuke him down? I don't quite know. They ward. He's going to be running this way, but I think the wards will get the last hit, and they do actually kill him. Definitely a worthy black hole to get them slightly back in the game. If you can pick off even one kill with a black hole early game, if you're that far behind, which they were a second ago, it makes a big difference. It's going to decrease that Night Stalker farm and put them in a slightly better position. Ancient Apparition about to hit level 6, and there he does pop that. It's going to make all the difference in team fights and supporting his allies across the map. Time to drink more Dr. Pepper so I don't fall asleep. Enchant once again in the jungle. She does have her arcane finished. Her mana pool's a little low here.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
And it looks like Rasta's going to deny the mid tower, which is a pretty big pickup. Now there's a lot of Scourge heroes roaming towards the bot lane. So the AA Slow are going to have to be very careful. And Slardar still doesn't have his money for his Vitality Booster, unless it is on the way. And it is indeed. He's going to have his Vanguard finished soon. They spot the enemy heroes. We're going to see a swap stun on the Slardar. He's in a little bit of trouble, and the arrow's going to follow up. Perfect coordination coming out of LNX here, and they clean up the kill on the Slardar. God's TPing in, but now he's in a little bit of issue as well. Still huge cooldown on his Black Hole. He's going to drop the Disable. The A ulti will land on 2 heroes, but I think Vengeful Spirit's going to survive as well as the Night Stalker. I heard the lightning from the Rasta, but that might have been on something else. Enchant gets a double kill. And he's still trying to pick off those heroes, but he's not going to get either one of them. There's the Wave of Terror, there's the Hex. And he will be sprinting away, pops his bottle, and there's the Disable. Now Rasta's going to absolutely get picked off there. LNX is going to... Man, they're looking really strong. I think it's going to be really hard for the Australian team to pull out the win here. Black Shaitan now does have his Vanguard finished. Just 1 sprint, 1 bash. N9 is not the worst team ever, guys. Come on. They're just having a bad game. Their lanes weren't exactly perfect. The Enchant countered the Enigma. So he didn't really have an option of ganking the bot lane as we would normally see in a 2 bottom with a jungler. And the survivable one, which is the Weaver, took a little less pressure here, but I really like the Night Stalker pick. He's going to get silenced here. Going to land a Shackle Shot, actually. Where the hell did that fear come from? He just like fear him and run away. That was really weird. 5-second fear duration. Pretty good stuff. Shadow Shaman actually went for the double no talisman. Can't quite afford the extra mana. And he's going to just ward on this tower. They're going to try to take it down here. I don't think it's going to necessarily happen. God's in the wrong area. He's going to spot out the enemy team, but it's too late now. He's absolutely going to get picked off here. And that is the problem. You took the wrong path to go to the bottom here. Scourge team just absolutely taking every opportunity possible to get kills. Night Stalker in position with his Invis rune, but didn't even need it. And the tower's still not gone down. Will they commit to this here? I think Weaver may. Still needs about 8 or so more attacks before they end up getting that tower. I think they will back off to the next creep wave, which is actually very far away. And the Scourge team's still looking for kills. They haven't even pushed down this tower yet. They don't even care. Priest Moon will continue to farm this, and they're going to continue ganking it and just absolutely controlling that jungle. Here comes the initiation. We actually have a sentry ward up. I think the Sentinel team knows that Night Stalker was there. Random sentry ward. This was just placed, actually. I don't know if that was for counter warding or what, but it's a pretty good counter ward spot if your mid tower is gone. And Vengeful Spirit and the Enchant with smoke now. They will be looking for a kill. They're going to find Gods yet again. Are they going to get the stun off? There's the Wave of Terror, and once again, Gods is going to get picked off. He's going to Black Hole here, but he doesn't get a perfect one off. It's actually not going to disable the Enchantress. And the A ulti will land, but that's it. Man, not looking good for Gods' team.
Come get healed.
There's the heal on the Enchantress. It's going to put her up to full HP. And the Sentinel team is going to continue pushing top. Looks like Weaver's going to go for a fast Vanguard this game. Definitely a good idea against a Night Stalker. Slardar and the Rasta want to get this kill in the Windrunner. I think they're going to be pretty effective. There's the chain stun. He doesn't even get to Windrun ability, which is all the difference between getting a successful gank off on a Windrunner or not. Venge will be in position with the Priest of the Moon. Priest of the Moon level 9. Very good skills currently. Here comes the arrow. Will it land? It will not. Not quite long enough range. Weaver does immediately go invis. He knows what's happening. A will back up as well. And Night Stalker will continue to CS in the mid lane. It is daytime though, so they could arguably come back at this point. But Night Stalker, does he not? He does not actually have nighttime cooldown, darkness cooldown. Black Shaitan will continue CSing in the bot lane, 760 gold. Stoopy with just boots, GG's, and that observer ward. Envelop quite close to his Vanguard. He may not actually finish it here. He's probably... I'm not quite sure if he's going to make a Vanguard or a Hood. He could do either. What is he going to purchase? Still nothing. Might see a team fight on the mid lane. There's a little bit of disable on the Shadow Shaman. He's got items on the courier. It's just a TP scroll, nothing major. And Eidolons will do some damage. Did he buy anything? It did actually make a Vanguard here. Wasn't quite sure whether he was going to make a Hood Vitality Booster. It's also a very common item. Haven't seen one in a while though. But I think this is the best option against these heroes. Enchantress, Mirana, and Night Stalker all going to do a decent amount of physical damage to you. Mostly because Enchant has creeps. So that damage block can be quite useful. And they actually end up de-warding here. They will spot those heroes. Eidolon's proving their use, and for once Gods does not get ganked, he's going to be going for a mechanism to help out with that Soul Ring. And at that point he's going to be moderately survivable, and Rasta's actually going to take a nuke. Night Stalker not going to commit though. He would just clean up a couple CS. He's got a Vitality Booster going for his Vanguard next. And the entire Scourge team is actually here. They are ready to take a tower. Even the Priest of the Moon. Starting towards that Manta, but just a Blade of Alacrity at the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Rasta on the high ground. I like his positioning here. Far behind the towers. He did heal up with that salve. Vengeful Spirit on the high ground. There's the A ulti. They're going to go on her. Oh, he doesn't get the Hex off, unfortunately for him. If they would have gotten the Hex off and the Chain Disable, kill that support right there, that would absolutely stop the push. Instead, they just scare him back. The entire Scourge team is going to back up and go to farming, but in Sentinel's favor, or the Radiant's favor, Weaver's been farming this entire time. They've been standing around waiting to take a tower push, and wasting a lot of farm time. Black Shaitan with the Power Treads now. Power Treads, Vanguard, another Sentry Ward dropped by the Ancient Apparition, opting for a level stats at level 2, or level 4 probably. It's going to make Ice Vortex a little bit less useful, but it's going to keep him a little bit more alive in the early game. Greater chance of him surviving with a little bit of mana pool. It's always going to make a little bit of a difference. And Night Stalker almost level 11. Still not nighttime, so they're not quite confident enough to push. And Enchant is back in the jungle. Let's check out some vision for the Sentinel team. A lot of Scourge heroes just now popping vision on the top. And generally they have a lot of warding towards Roshan and a little bit of jungle warding as well, just to catch any messiness going on down here. For the Dire team, they don't really have very good ward positions up, just the top rune primarily. But they have a lot more map control because they do have a big kill advantage. Serpent wards nailing that main tower. And they are going to pick it off. Does it get denied? Oh man, god, that was so close. Priest of the Moon was so close to getting that last hit. A ulti is going to land on the top. And will they glyph up? They're going to lose it. Vengeful Spirit gets the last hit. Getting these heroes actually quite low. And A is primarily going to be aiming for this Enchantress during teamfights to drop that minus heal. It's going to prevent Enchantress from healing in teamfights, which will make a huge difference. Turns her into the squishy hero, and then we're going to see Nighttime popped by the Night Stalker and a smoke as well. Immediately the Weaver's on the escape, and wow, it does actually get a slow off. There's the double sentry. There's the slow and the disable on Weaver. I think he's going to survive this though. Here comes Sphere, is about to run out, but he gets stunned by the Vengeful Spirit, and they immediately try to escape. Time walks out, chainstone on the Vengeful Spirit, but the Priest of the Moon ulti is going to be effective. They're looking for it. Black Shaitan actually scores a double stun here. They're still invisible, and there they go, finally visible again. He didn't even realize he stunned them. Vengeful Spirit now stuns. Still no disable. I think they're going to back off, unfortunately. Very surprising. Double sentry ward. Huge waste there. I don't know if they both had a sentry or what. Might have just been Venge accidentally placing twice. I think that's what the case was. So LNX will back off once again. Not actually getting any kills there. Nobody died. Weaver definitely got pretty damn close. I thought maybe he would get killed, but they decided to back off. As soon as the support TPs were coming at the tier 2 tower, it definitely was a little bit of an overcommit. I think it was definitely wise for them to back off. Nobody ended up dying. Sentinel team only, or the Dire team only got away because of that Priest of the Moon ulti. Somebody was going to die. And God's finally getting some much needed farm in the jungle. He may go for a Blink Dagger now. He's saving up quite a bit. Dire now pushing the mid lane. Gods needs to back up. Just doing a little idle on scout. And is he going to black hole this? Here it comes. There's the disable. There's the second disable on Night Stalker. I'm pretty sure he's going to get screwed out of this. Takes a couple more nukes. And there we go. Oh, the black hole does not catch the Mirana. She's just going to run away. Night Stalker will die for sure. Weaver gets the last hit using Sakuchi. Nicely done. He's up to 2,600 gold. This is actually looking pretty good for the Sentinel team right now. On 9. As soon as he gets that Radiance, Scourge team is going to have to be arguing and trying to fight over a actual hard carry instead of just fighting with a bunch of semi-carries. Enchant has the drums finished. And God's purchasing some items. I expect it's a mech, and it is going to be a mechanism. Just wanted to wait until he had both components completed. Snoopy that A, not very good items, but he's been doing a pretty good job. That was the Dire actually unintentionally pinging the Flying Courier, I believe. Let's check out their vision right now. They do see that Rasta. Priest of the Moon currently hunting her prey. Rasta has no idea what's going on. I don't think Priest of the Moon quite feels comfortable going for this. He currently has a Void Stone. He may end up getting a Cyclone. I think that's what he's going to do. It's very, very useful against heroes like Night Stalker, because you can either Cyclone yourself or Cyclone him if he ends up chasing on somebody. And it gives you the movement speed, and you can Cyclone ward somebody, ward trap somebody. He actually makes a mistake here, picks up another level of Hex instead of a Mass Serpent ward. But this kind of happens sometimes in Dota 2 when you're getting used to it. You don't notice the little yellow boxes, basically. He does actually pick it up, he just hadn't skilled it yet. My mistake. 2,900 gold now on the Weaver. Getting very close to his Relic. Once he does get that Relic, he's going to be very close to getting that Radiance. And the Radiance is basically going to win them the game, if they can get it pretty soon here. He's going to throw bugs down to push the Windrunner back.
Regeneration.
And we're going to see a Illusion Rune pick up by the Mirana. Gods with the Arcane Boots now, his farm is increasing. Looks like they want to gank on the Night Stalker. Are we going to get the disables off? We will see a Hex. Oh, the wards. Ugh. That makes me cringe, a ward waste. Man. Needed to Hex first, but a little sloppy. Drop the wards first. I'm going to blame the delay. He's going to TP out very wisely. God's going to be in trouble, though. May end up going down. He does get stunned by the arrow, and he's going to guarantee die here. He does end up dying.
Nature attend us.
Chasing after the Enchantress. Here we go. Huge damage done to that enchant. We have a Blink Dagger finished on Slaughter, which is going to make a big difference. Scourge team is going to have to fear that now.
Illusion.
And Shadow Shaman up to 559 gold. Let's tab through some fancy buttons. F5. Items boring. F6. We still have a big Dire advantage. Not huge. 3,000 gold is nothing obscene, but it's worth mentioning. And what else do I want to see? That's gold. I guess that's pretty much it. Where's that fancy one with the EXP and farm? This one. Alright, I could look at the screen for quite a while. Current gold 3,600 on the Weaver. Gold earned 7k. Shadow Shaman actually highest gold earned. Gold per minute 317. Not very high numbers on the Sentinel team. All very low, but these will get a lot bigger towards the end of the game. That's really when you make up for your semi-low farm in the early game. And Night Stalker on the top lane. Looks like they were looking for a kill, but everybody TP'd out on time. They're going to spot the eventual Spirit here. Rasta may block him in. There's the Hex. There's the A ulti. And he is still blocked him in. He's going to have to go the opposite way. It's looking not very good for him. Slaughter chasing with this haste. Oh, man. He runs back for just a second. The Courier going to be fine. And I'm pretty sure he will get this kill. And yes, he will. Black Shaitan going to pick up that kill. Very nicely done by the Shadow Shaman, blocking him off there. Just holding position in the 1 Hex location. And he does have his Euls finished. Gives you that nice movement speed. Priest of Moon trying to pick off the bot tower. It's getting down there. There is a dire ward up though, so they will be spotted as they come that way. And the relic is finished on the Weaver, so Weaver just needs another 3 or 4 minutes to finish off that Radiance, and it's going to be looking pretty good for N9. This tower may take a lot of creep damage, but Black Shaitan is on the rescue. He's got his wand finished now, up to 400 gold. And Night Stalker continuing to farm. Still in the middle of nighttime. A lot of pinging going on. Windrunner working towards that Sheepstick now. Ultimate Orb, she's doing quite good on farm. Let us see, how is her farm doing? Gold per minute, about 300. 300 on the Priest of the Moon, 300 on Night Stalker. Everybody's about 300 right now. Except for Ancient Apparition, 130. Even Vengeful Spirit's doing better than that. God's actually making up for a lot of his shortcomings. 255 here is not bad considering how many times he's died and been shut down in the early game. Now the Roshan will drop here. They ulti, will it snipe it? Very close, but not quite perfect. Night Stalker will pick up that Aegis. And they may try to force a team fight now. Nope, not stacking that. God's Eidolons are in position. We actually have a... oh, that ward is spotting it. He's going to pick them off for a little bit of gold. And Weaver will continue farming. Just about 500. Black Shaitan in position, and we're going to see a smoke. And are we going to see the blink? Here it is. Oh, missed blink just a little bit. Not going to get the sun off on the Priest of the Moon. And that's going to be the end of that smoke gank. Just a little bit of miscoordination. Black Shaitan thought he'd juke the other way. And he had that haste rune, which makes all the difference. Arrow will not land on anybody here. Doesn't even spot a single person. And Shadow Shaman may chase. He tried to go after that Night Stalker. If he could have wardsed him in there, arguably could have gotten a kill. Let's look at some vision right now. So this is the Dire Vision, or the Radiant Vision actually. A little bit on the mid lane, but that's about it realistically. And Dire having much better vision, a lot of map control, not a lot in the middle, which is where most of the Radiant team is. And Weaver wants to farm this top lane, but he's a little scared. And there is the Night Stalker. Wow, another miss gank just slightly here. It's very similar. Weaver, good reaction time there. Immediately spotting the Night Stalker, spamming that C key and booking it back to base. This is exactly the time when he does not want to die. He's got to get another 400 gold. And his damage potential just goes up so much. And Weaver picking up one more CS here. He's at 945. He's taking a little bit of damage. Gonna launch some bugs across. He's gonna focus people back, or force them back so that he can get a couple more CS. He's at 1k gold now. May take the initiation from the Night Stalker, but he's gonna go invis once again. Night Stalker hitting the tower. A lot of the Sentinel heroes are actually in the bot jungle. They're gonna score on the Priest of the Moon though. Very nice kill. See if they TP top immediately. They may end up pushing the lane. They want to take this tower, so Weaver and the Gods are going to hopefully defend this long enough to let their allies pick off the next tower. But this is a lot of illusion. Night Stalker illusions. I'm pretty sure this tower will drop. They will trade here. Creep wave will be stopped in a second, unless they TP to the bot lane. Black Shaitan actually hitting quite hard right now. He's got his Ogre Axe. He's going to be going for his BKB next. There's two TPs, Enchant and the Vengeful Spirit in position. Venge with the Medallion. Enchant on Black Shaitan now. But he wants to get the tower, and he does get the last hit. But we see a swap immediately. He's actually getting quite low. He did pop his haste immediately before it went off. And is he going to be able to blink? It doesn't happen. Takes a lot of damage from the Impetus, and he does end up dying. Trading his life for a tower kill. Not the best trade. But it does give Weaver more money. That's the bright side. And he does have the Radiance purchase. Just purchased the item. and that is on his way. And finally, 29 minutes in here, Weaver has his Radiance finished. So the tower did drop, another ping over there. Night Stalker and Windrunner looking for more ganks. Windrunner just about to finish his Mystic Staff. And Gods with 1300 HP. Or gold, sorry. Let's press buttons. Gold per minute now, 350 on the Night Stalker. Everybody else still sitting around 300. And everybody in the Sentinel team actually lacking just a little bit. What about, let's do items, boring. Difference in gold earned, still kind of peeking out. Still in the dire favor, but not a huge amount. They're looking for another kill down here. Priest Moon will get scouted by this ward. They're just going to continue their jungle farm for now. And the Sentinel team is probably going to be looking for maybe doing a team fight, since the Weaver does have the Radiance, but they're going to need the Weaver to be there. He may go for maybe some Strength Treads next would be really wise, I think. But they may actually team fight here. Radiance is going to make all the difference. There's the haste on the Slardar. There's the ulti. They're going to go in. He does stun on the Vengeful Spirit. This could be it for Venge. Venge definitely going to go down here. Gets picked off. Nice chase. Just turned daytime too. They took their advantage. Hasted Slardar with the Blink Dagger, man. It's hard to escape that. He is so fast. I'm pretty sure he's max. His haste just ran out, so didn't catch it. But there's the wards on the mid lane. They're going to be able to take the mid lane here, since they are up a support, but they're going to might trade the bottom lane. It will get glyphed. And mid tower will drop. Who's going to TP back? It's going to be Weaver, but I don't think he's going to get there in time. Tower does get destroyed. Just by some illusions there. And not necessarily the best trade for the Sentinel team. Windrunner will TP back. Slardar farming towards that BKB. Still doesn't have his Smithville Hammer, I believe. Gods at 2k HP, probably going to get a Blink Dagger soon. Either a Blink or a BKB. There are quite a few heroes who could disable him. Pretty much just Venge. Venge probably going to stand out of team fights a little bit, look for swap. Even if he did get a BKB, they could always just swap off of him. And we must have a gem. Yeah, we do have a gem on Night Stalker. Gem Black King Bar. He's actually very farmed right now. It's going to be a problem for the Sentinel team. The Radiant. We were going to go to the side shot, buy a TP scroll. He is now sprinting there. He needs to get here to team fight. They're going to take another tower in the meantime. A ulti is going to be perfect. Lands on just one, actually. Not going to hit multiple heroes. And he will buy boots and a TP scroll. And now the Scourge team is going to back up. So he was a little bit too late there. They're not going to be able to defend it. They're actually coming for him. No, they're not. They're just going to go back to farming. Enchant with the point booster now. And a double damage rune for a Night Stalker. We're going to see a pause from the Sentinel team. NS. There are his items, guys. It's Power Treads, Vanguard, Urn, and a Black King Bar. With a gem and an Aegis. That is what he's got. Dr. Pepper. You're damn right I'm reading your chat. Think I just like tell you guys to go to chat and just not read it? That's lame. Why would I do that? F5, F6. Alright, down to 4,000k. 4,000 regular, not 4,000k. That's 4 million. That'd be ridiculous. Can I open the CS tab? I would love to open the CS tab. If I can find it. CS? No. I want this one. Alright, 155 on the Night Stalker, 133 on Priest of the Moon, 158 on Windrunner. 132 on Shadow Shaman, 120 on Slardar, 142 on Enigma, 138 on Weaver. God's farming very good here, despite dying 5 times. And I mean, are there gold advantages? I mean, there is a 4K gold advantage for the Scourge team, or the Dire team. But that's partially towers. But they must just be out farming a little bit. They do have a kill advantage, but only 5. Which is really not that much. It's about 1K. No problem, guys. Feel free to remind me to check that often. I usually forget. We actually see a smoke on the entire Sentinel team. They're looking for kills. Shadow Shaman's going to go first. He's by far the best disables, with the Black King Bar on him as well. They may go on the Priest of the Moon. Are they going to get the disables off? They're not going to be able to catch him. There's the Slardar chase, and that's it. Priest of the Moon's going to die. There's no way she's going to survive the chain stun. She does go down. We see a Shackle shot. This is looking a little bad for the Dire team. Priest of the Moon is definitely an integral part of their defense. Need that Manta DPS. Now they're pretty much just looking at Enchantress, Windrunner, and maybe Night Stalker. But Night Stalker way on the top lane. He doesn't even have a TP scroll because he has so many items right now. So he either needs to run across the entire map. It's daytime as well, so it's going to take longer. Or he needs to sell his urn. And he looks a little conflicted. So this is a time for the Sentinel team to pick off a tower. They drop the wards down. I find this a little bit of a waste. They probably don't realize how good their pushing situation is right now. But they get a free tower, they're going to back off. Very wisely taking the conservative path, which is going to be send Weaver back to farm more. I'm pretty sure Potom has Manta, Bottle, Treads, Double Wraith, that's it. We have Sheep, Mech on the Windrunner now. Night Stalker is no different than what we saw before, but it's actually looking very good for Team Australia. N9, I believe their name is once again. God's back in the jungle. He does have a Blink Dagger now. We did see it in action on the bot lane. Just looking for those good black hole opportunities, and very surprisingly, he actually doesn't get another level black hole. It's not a bad decision, realistically, and the cooldown gets slightly lower, but the mana cost actually very highly increases. I've never actually seen somebody do this before, but it's really not a bad decision. The duration doesn't change. The damage increases, but realistically, you get that skill for the damage, or for the disable, not for the damage dealt. And the mana cost does increase quite a bit by picking up a new level, so I would say if he didn't have a good mana pool, maybe put off the black hole levels, but I would say definitely get it at 14. That is for damn sure. Now that he has a very high mana pool, he's arcane with that mech and the soul ring. He shouldn't run out of mana. That is my point. He's a pioneer Enigma. It's always important to think about that stuff, honestly, guys. Like, you don't have to always watch pros or high-level players who are better than you make all the item decisions for you. You should virtually question. I mean, this isn't something I do, but now that I'm talking about it, I think this would be really smart, is to look through all of your skill builds that you've been regularly doing for months and months and reevaluate them. Because they may not be very good. Maybe what it was good like 6 months ago could have like a new item build that'll change your skill build or something like that. That can all make the difference between metagame shifts. New items really change that kind of stuff a lot as well. Yeah, he was in Joy before, Gods was, but this is kind of like a ragtag Australian group who started playing for the King of the Hill, and I guess they're gonna play in the defense tournament. I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't talked to Gods about the specifics. I know this has at least 2 of Joy players, I believe, at the very least 1. There's the Blink Dagger and Shadow Shaman. He's actually extremely farmed as well. The chain disables on the Sentinel team are just really, really good. We're going to see it become nighttime for the Night Stalker. Doesn't look like they're aware of what's going on. I think they all smoked in and ran in there, so they pick up an easy Roshan. Windrunner grabs the Aegis. Now Sentinel team's a little like, oh crap, we just lost the Roshan.
Double damage.
Night Stalker picking up the Reaver. What did he sell for this? I don't remember. Oh, that was where the Aegis was? Yeah, that was where the Aegis was. He actually didn't end up using his Aegis. It despawned, they picked up the Rosh immediately. And then he bought an axe. Weaver up to 2100 gold. Probably going to make a heart next. I think that would be the wise decision. Double damage on the Shadow Shaman. And let us see where the Dire is.